I get a bunch of Instagram pages. I've always had a bunch for different things. And I used to run a couple band ones that I just got tired of doing. And I noticed that there wasn't many or really any dedicated Killing Joke pages. And I like to do photo art. It's just fun. Have a few different programs that I use. And I haven't done a lot of it lately. So I figured I would get two birds stoned at once and create a Killing Joke page that I could do some photo art with. If you're interested in checking it out, if you're a fan of the band or whatever, this is it. It used to have a cooler name. It was in Cytherea. But it was, how would you know that was a Killing Joke page? How would you find that? So I had to put something, so if someone searched for it, they'd be able to find it. So there'd be some connection to it, you know what I mean? I think that guy, the way that guy just went for that bag, I don't know if you saw that, but he was walking by and he kind of lurched over when he saw her bending over as if he was going to grab that bag. Yeah. I'll have to look at the fucking I'm already swearing. I'll have to look at the video, but that's what it looked like to me. He's dressed like a glowy. You know what I mean? I don't know, whatever. You see that though, like I noticed that when you see certain guys, certain creeds, you're watching them, they don't know you're watching them. And like they'll walk by someone and they always look at the person's bags or what they have. You know, I see it. Anyway, let me get back on track here. So, yeah, I've done some videos on Killing Joke here in my ongoing Jazz Coleman contradictory feelings about him. He's a brilliant guy, and he's just the best to listen to. Like if you ever come across any interviews with him, or I would indeed say you should seek some out online. The problem is the people that interview him are always music people, music journalists. So I said something recently to the effect on a comment section where it's like jazz will be going on about the Rosicrucian Negregor and the impossibility of it being a spoof on occultism by a group of German teenagers and how preposterous that would be. And then the next question is, yeah, so you guys did Bloodstock last year. Were there any bands you wanted to see? He'll talk about, people don't know what he's saying, so they don't know what to ask him. It kills me too, because he'll bring up how him and Paul used to live with some Tavistock Institute guys. And he'll bring that up, and then like, the interviewer won't know what the fuck that means, and they'll just be like, oh, okay, and they'll just brush by it. But I've been trying to get more information on these people they live with. Now my understanding was, when I first started hearing about this, that they lived with guys who worked for the Tavistock Institute, as well as some of the government think tanks, social shapers. Tavistock is the people that created the hippie movement and the counterculture at the time, and then they created hold on, I'll just be quiet for a minute. Oh wow, they actually have women up there. That's nice. The last time I was here, they were doing like a hula thing, right? And I came to sit down to watch it. And I got a nice seat, and I start filming it. And it's a hula thing. They're singing a song, and it was called Dainty Cheeks, which was weird when you hear what I'm about to say. They were just hula boys. Guys, greased up young men, dancing with the grass hula skirts on to Dainty Cheeks. And I was just disturbed. I'm like, nope. I got up and walked away. Now, I think the reason is because they can't have, like those girls there were fully dressed and it wasn't like a hula thing really. I think now they wouldn't be able to do it because the idea of a girl in the bikini top is the patriarchy. So instead, they put fucking 2 guys with their ham hocks shaking. It was fucking disgusting. Again, whatever you're into, you're into. But I don't know. I was just shocked. I wasn't expecting it. It's in one of the videos. It's funny if you were there that day. It's funny now. I wasn't funny then. Hey, Rooster Man. So getting back to Killing Joke. What's up, buddy? You like Killing Joke? The comic book? No, not the comic book. Can you imagine that? Alan Moore, right? He's a British guy. Like, he knows who they are. He knows them. He runs in some of the same circles. Like, he was friends with David J., who was that whole little crew there at the end of the 70s that became the sort of post-punk crew. A lot of them went to mysticism and magic and stuff. And a lot of my friends, I don't know how friendly Alan Moore is with them, or if he is at all. But I know he's friendly with the Bauhaus guys. But then again, I don't know how friendly they are with Killing Joke. The fucking point is, he kind of he recontextualized that term in modern pop culture to when you hear it, all you think of is fucking Batman. That kind of sucks. But I mean, I don't know. You could have, even if I'm sure they trademarked the name, but the way trademark law works in some areas is you can make a band called Playboy, but you can't make a magazine called Playboy. There's already a magazine called Playboy. That's how it was explained to me. But at the same time, I can't imagine someone being able to make a band called McDonald's, right? You wouldn't be able to do that. So I don't know what happened there, but it's like, so when you type those terms in, all you get is fucking Batman shit. And that story, the actual story is not good. I don't like it. I don't think it deserves all the reverence it gets. It's really dark. It's really unnecessarily violent, over the top, and there's a sexual kind of sadism. I don't want to get into that story, but it's gross. I don't like it. It's not good. And it just kind of sucks that anytime you hear that term, it's like you fucking think it's over. But anyway, long fucking way all around story short. Tavistock, okay? These Tavistock dudes they were living with. I was thinking, what are these like poor kids who Killing Joke were kind of, they were squatting in different places. I don't know exactly where they live with the Tavistock guys, or some kind of flat. But whatever the case, right? I'm thinking, why are these hoity-toity Tavistock types, these intellectuals, living with fucking Jazz and these other maniacs? And then come to find out, the guys working, these Tavistock individuals that were working for the think tanks and the government, were fucking crazy people. Like, they were on acid 24/7. They were like, one of them was called Dave the Wizard. I don't know if he exactly was one of the Tavistock guys, but he was a cannibal. So they were all these like creeps, you know, but they're working for the government to try to figure out like social programming, social shaping, you know, and that's frightening. They were saying that a Paul Ferguson interview I saw about one of these dudes was like they were on the edge of insanity. They had taken so much LSD, and these guys were working for the government to come up with ideas on how to, you know, help the government farm its cattle better, you know, which is basically what it's all about. But yeah, I was looking the wrong way. I was thinking, why would they be with these, you know, these intellectuals, these hoity-toity guys? And they weren't. They were like street people, I guess, from what I understand. But they were working for the government to help, you know, and it's not a huge surprise when you see the insanity that we live in now. But it's hard, you know. I don't think it's like they're not willing to talk about it. It's just people don't know what to ask them. And I read the Are You Receiving book, but I didn't really get much out of that also. Now, Jazz has his own book. I fucking keep forgetting that I should just buy that off Amazon, because you can't get it anywhere. But I think it's available on Amazon. It was out of print for a while. Then it came back in print. The thing is, I don't use credit cards. If I want to buy something online, I usually buy like a Google Play card, and then I make purchases that way. So fucking, I'm only always thinking of it like times like now, when I'm at home. But I do want to read that book, his biography, The Island, or is it Music from the Island? Or I know he had a companion CD. No, the CD is called The Island. What he did is he did some composing that went along with the book, you know. But I don't know if he goes into it there anymore about it. I mean, there's a lot of stuff I would love to ask those guys about. The thing is, you have to kind of, like, I'll always seek out an interview, and I just take whatever I can get from what they say, but no one never asks them the right questions. Like, they're always asking them who's your favorite band, you know, or something like that. Like, they don't know what to ask them. And it's not their fault. A music journalist doesn't know about that shit. Not many people know about that shit. So I kind of have to go through their stuff and kind of glean what I can from them. But yeah, so yeah, I started that page just for fun. I should, I like doing videos about them. I haven't done one in a while. I wanted to do the, kind of review their albums, because they're all great. People, you know, complain about a couple of them. They complain about Outside the Gate. I like Outside the Gate. I think it's different, but all their shit's different. I mean, I don't know. I think that gets a bad rap. I look at Brighter Than a Thousand Suns, right? That was a failure on an industry level. I don't know how the record company fucked that one up. Like, they gave them everything they wanted. After the success of, like, Nighttime and that hit single with Love Like Blood, that at the time was their biggest album, it kind of set them up to move on to the next level. And they delivered them something that was definitely palatable for radio. And it was almost like, and I hate to use this band as but it was almost like a U2 kind of thing. Very atmospheric and almost like an Unforgettable Fire, except way cooler. It was still Killing Joke, you could tell. The kind of notes they would choose, the music they would pick, like how they compose the songs, were still done in their style, but they were a lot more like radio friendly. One of the big mistakes they made, which they fixed years later, carrying a bag of Ajax bleach, and it's just awkward. Had to get rid of some bodies. What the fuck was I saying? See, I must have passed through a doorway. I must have passed through a portal. But hold on, let me just get through all these people. Sometimes I get interference. When you go walk near like a group of people, they're all giving off their own sort of thing, their own energy, their own frequencies, their own Wi-Fi. That's why the fucking bus from me is just a non-starter. Oh, it's such a pain in the ass. Last time I went to Chinatown, I did fine until the way home. I was like, I gotta get off the next stop. I gotta walk the rest of it. I can't do it. Yeah, it becomes really, really overwhelming. But yeah, that Brother and a Thousand Suns, they gave the record company the perfect album, and like they didn't. It's not the band's fault in that case. Now, yeah, the fan base was a little bit like, well, this is a little lightweight, but so what? It was still Killing Joke. You could still push it. There's no sanity. Yeah, I think Adorations was the wrong thing to lead off with. It was atmospheric, but it didn't have like a big hook in it. Sanity would have been a way better thing to start off with, though. As cheesy as it is a little bit, Victory, I don't know, for first single, but that would have made a good single too. Like almost any song you could kind of make a case for. But Adoration's as good as it is, it didn't have any earworms in it. Nothing that was gonna stick in your head. Had a nice atmosphere, it sounded good. Jazz sings on that whole album. It's one of the few albums that he sings on in what would be today considered like clean singing, instead of the growling kind of thing. I like both. And the fact that he can still do both, he can jump from one to the other, has pedal bus. I think it's a pedal bus, is it? I'm not saying the people on it are pedals, but this bus has the pedal symbol, as you see, very prominently. Yeah, I feel bad for guys like that. The thing is, like, you want to help sometimes, but sometimes you try to help and they freak out on you. So it's like, you gotta be careful with that. Gotta be careful. My wife did that the other day. She was trying to bring breakfast to some guy. She felt bad. She came out here in the morning. So she bought breakfast for him, brought it to him, and he started screaming at her, "Get that the fuck away from me!" She's like, "Are you sure?" "I don't want it." She says, "So now I had all this food." I guess she just left it on the garbage barrel. They're like, "Honey, you've got to be smarter than that, you know?" That's the thing. A lot of them are like that, and what are you gonna do? I don't know, whatever. I like to try to get to know them first. Like, I was talking to one of my guys the other night. He's a pseudo kind of informant, but the thing is, I think he's actually a spook. I think he's actually a glowy, but that's a whole nother story. Nothing to do with Killing Joke. But those guys, they see everything. And he started talking to me about it. He's like, you know, things have been really strange around here. I'm like, well, you know, what do you mean? There's a lot of new people here. I'm like, yeah, I noticed that too. I started telling him about my thing, but he was kind of, I was coming at it from the, you know, the large change in demographics that we've seen, but he was like kind of alluding to some kind of darker, mysterious kind of thing. So we started talking about demons and, you know, demonic influence and demonic, how it's been growing, and he wasn't really giving me nothing on that. So I let him talk a little bit, but I couldn't figure out what he was trying to say. He was just trying to say there's something here. There's something has changed in this area, and he sees it, but he couldn't really describe what it is. And he's one of the more like with it guys. Like, he's not, you can have a conversation with him. Some of these guys you can. And yeah, I used to have a bunch of them that were like informants for demon stuff, you know, for black magic, energy, fucking bad guys shit, you know, whatever you want to call it, because they see it all. And the thing is they see a lot of the trade too, the trade in parentheses, because what happens is people don't see them as real people. So if they're doing something they shouldn't be doing, if there's a homeless guy there, they don't think twice. They just keep doing it because he's like invisible to them. But they see it, you know, and you know, they see everything. So yeah, I don't have the network I used to have though, because the overturn in personnel, it's like Kmart now. It's like they just, new ones come in and old ones go all the time. So whatever. But yeah, anyway, I'm gonna wrap this up. If you want to check that out, that Killing Joke thing, if you're a Killing Joke fan, if you're a gatherer yourself, and if you make art, if you do anything that's Killing Joke related, or have anything to contribute, you can always email me there, or leave a comment there, or contact me, whatever the fuck you want to do. There's many ways to get me. I mean, not get me. You're never gonna get me. Don't blame the teacher, blame the school.